few exciting life updates. As of literally today, we found out that Brayden now has got a full-time job. Our life and our routine is really going to change. It kind of makes me want to cry actually. I've been wanting to move out for ages. My family is actually thinking of moving themselves. Oh my gosh, I've been wanting this for so long. Hey everyone, and welcome back. I know you're probably surprised to see me doing another sit down video this week because generally I just do vlogs on this channel these days, occasionally a sit down video, but it's rare for me to do a few sit down videos in a row. But as you know, I've been recovering, and to be honest, it's taken me a little bit longer to recover than I initially thought. I was feeling so much better literally within a few days after having the operation, and then I started to return back to normal, doing my normal routine things, and I think I just pushed myself a little bit too soon and kind of just didn't acknowledge the fact that you've had surgery, you need to rest, your body is recovering. And I feel like I'm paying for that now because I'm feeling quite run down and lacking quite a bit of energy. But you know, I think it just takes a while to build your stamina back up. It's probably different for everyone after they have an operation, but I've just been feeling very lethargic. And to be honest, I feel like my mental health has been suffering a little bit over the last few weeks as well, because obviously my routine isn't the same. I'm not allowed to be as active at the moment, and there's also other things that I can't do. Like for example, I really wanted to declutter my room because my room is so messy, but I just haven't really had the energy to do it. It might have to wait until the end of Jan or the start of Feb. So here I am just sitting down. I've got my coffee here, and I thought we could do like a little Q&A because it's been ages since I've done a Q&A on YouTube and answered questions. I feel like everyone just does them on Instagram these days, but I have a few exciting life updates to share with you guys. So you guys seem to be really interested in my stomach and all of the issues that I've had with it over like the many years, but I've been talking about it a lot recently. And yeah, a lot of you guys asked me how my stomach's been since having the appendix out and if I've noticed any differences and like if my bloating's gone down. And first of all, I'm just gonna say my bloating definitely hasn't gone down. If anything, my bloating is a lot worse at the moment. I think that my stomach is just still swollen from the operation. I don't know how long it takes for the swelling to go down, but it's like around my belly button there's just a swollen bump and it's not really going down. But I wouldn't say that that's due to food sensitivities, I don't think anyway. It's still early days, so I can't really tell like what's aggravating my stomach at this point. But I will say I haven't had any stomach pains since I got my appendix out. And I actually struggled with stomach pains quite badly before I got my appendix out. But the reason I didn't think it could be my appendix is because the pains were on the left side of my stomach. And usually if you have an appendicitis, the pains are on the right. But turns out it could have been referred pain. So yeah, the pains on the left side all along could have been my appendicitis. But yeah, it's really interesting that I haven't had any of those pains since. And I definitely have eaten lots of big meals and eaten a lot of the foods that would generally set me off. So I feel like that those pains were my appendix, but you know, we'll see. I guess since we're on the topic of health and my stomach, we should talk about my mental health because you guys asked quite a few questions to do with my mental health and how it's going. I mean, if I'm completely honest, my mental health has been a little bit all over the place lately, and it has been for a little while, even before I had my appendix out. And I just think I really struggle with this time of year. It seems to happen every single year. I've noticed a pattern since I literally document my life on the internet. It's pretty easy to like see patterns. But between like December to February, I always find creating content quite hard, and I also just like struggle with my mental health and motivation. And I think it's just like a bit of burnout, honestly, because like I'm really busy throughout the year, working really hard. And in a way, what keeps you going is the fact that you know that you're going to get a break at the end of the year. And then when the end of the year finally approaches, it's like I fully give up and I just can't do anything. And it's like my body's like, okay, it's time to take a break. But I find it really hard just to take a week off and then like pick myself back up after that and just get back into things and feel myself again. I don't know, I just find that really hard at this time of year. And December and January are kind of weird months for creators anyway, because there's not really that much work going around because most brands aren't at work for the Christmas holidays, and then work slowly kind of picks up towards the end of January and the start of February. So I think that kind of affects me as well, because it feels like if I don't have like deadlines from brands and stuff, I just get a little bit too relaxed sometimes. And don't get me wrong, I still love filming even if it's not got a brand deal in it or anything like that. But I think because I don't get that much time off throughout the year, it's like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make the most of this break. I also think there's often a lot of expectations around a new year, and you put a lot of pressure on yourself to kind of reinvent yourself. That's how I feel anyway. I always feel like when it's a new year, I'm like, okay, where am I going? What kind of content do I want to make? And I like put a lot of pressure on myself to keep evolving and changing. And I think I'm still figuring out how this year is going to be different to the other ones and what kind of content I want to create. So let me know what you'd like to see, but I'm really hoping that it won't be too long until I will be moving again. So I'll have a new environment. I find that I'm really influenced by my environment, and it really can help my creativity. And I've been back in my family's house for quite some time now. I didn't know that I was actually going to be here for this long, and I've loved it. I love my family and I do really adore living with them, but some things might be changing for my family too. So I may not be able to live with them. I will elaborate because I don't want to like leave you guys hanging, but my family is actually thinking of moving themselves, and it's quite an emotional thing to talk about, to be honest. Like when I think about it, I'm like, it makes me quite sad because I love this house and it's the first house that we bought when we moved to Australia, and we're really settled here and we've done so much work on the house. But to be quite honest, financially, things have been quite hard with my parents at the moment, and for them to be able to live the lifestyle that they want and to not be as restricted with money, they might actually have to move, which means they might sell the house. And most likely they won't be moving to another place in the Shire, because if you guys are from the Shire or you're from Sydney, you would know how expensive it is. And yeah, it's just really hard to find a house that fits a family of 6 plus 2 dogs in the Shire for like a certain price range. So my family is now actually thinking that they might have to move up the coast a little bit. So my mum, dad, Lily and Nat are currently away for 2 nights actually visiting the Central Coast, just sussing out the area, getting to know it. I don't know if they're viewing houses, but wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, it's really crazy that that is actually a possible reality and they might be moving, but I just want my family to be happy, and so I feel like if that's what's best for them, that's what's best for them. Plus the Central Coast is beautiful, and sometimes it's really nice to have a fresh start. So we will see. But as for me, you guys know that I've been wanting to move out for ages. Braden and I have been talking about it for the longest time, but we've been trying to save to buy somewhere just because I've rented before and I really just want to like settle down now. Braden really wants to buy. But the reason that we hadn't actually looked into buying yet is because Braden wanted to wait until we finished uni and got a full-time job. But as of literally today, we found out that Braden now has got a full-time job, which is so exciting. I'm so proud of him. He literally got the call this morning and he was so happy, and I think they want him to start next Monday, so a week from today. So it's gonna come around super fast. So this week, Braden and I are like, okay, we need to go away and do something because we need to make the most of this time when you don't have a full-time job, because our life and our routine is really going to change once he starts working. And like, not in a bad way, it's what we wanted, but it's just gonna be different because I'm so used to seeing Braden every single day at the moment. I see him all the time. I'm very lucky, and I mean, I'm gonna admit it, I feel like I rely on him a lot and he really does keep me sane. And it kind of makes me want to cry actually. I don't know why, like all day today, I felt emotional. I feel like that's why. Why am I crying? I think it's just a really big thing for both Braden and I, and it's been something that we've been working towards for a really long time. And oh, I'm so proud of Braden because literally he finished uni like not even a month ago, or was it a month ago? I can't remember, not long ago. And he applied for one job and he's got the first job that he applied for. And I'm just like, he's amazing. And so he's done so well. He had to do 5 interviews for this job to get it. And he had to do like a psychometric test, and yeah, he's done really well, and I know that they're gonna love him, and I feel like the job is so up his alley. So it's a finance job. And look, I'm not gonna sit here and try and explain exactly what his job is because, to be quite honest, I don't fully understand myself because all of those like financial terms kind of go over my head, but I believe it's a custody role. I don't know fully what that means. I should understand what it means a little bit better. I'm sure I'll learn, but basically he'll be handling like large amounts of money, doing a lot of like data, all that kind of stuff. And so Braden's always been interested in like shares and investing and things like that. So this job is like perfect for him. And I know that the company is going to be so lucky to have him just because he's very dedicated. Like when he starts, he will be like so committed to it. But the job is actually in the city, so it's about 40 minutes-ish away from where we live. And so it's gonna be weird because he's gonna have to like get up a bit earlier in the morning and go to work and have like a normal 9 to 5 and get back later. I know so many people experience that, but I actually haven't experienced that with Braden yet. So it's gonna be really interesting to like see how we balance things, because he's gonna still keep up with like his jiu-jitsu and like all of his other hobbies, and then he's gonna like have to see me, his friends, and have his job. We will work it out, but it seriously is so exciting. And since he now has a job, that means that we're actually going to be taking the property buying a lot more seriously. The reason I don't say house or apartment buying is because like I don't know what we're gonna buy. We don't know what we can afford, but we're just gonna wait and see. And like I've been saving for a long time and I was ready to like buy somewhere on my own, but obviously it helps a lot to have Braden and to have 2 people buying together. And so we were like, why don't we just wait until you have a full-time job, a salary, and then that will just make things a whole lot easier for us. And the bank will be way more willing to give us a mortgage and lend us money if one of us has a salary. And obviously my income is like pretty inconsistent, so it's a little bit harder to prove how much money I'm going to be making. So yeah, that's really, really exciting. So obviously we'll get like Braden settled and everything and just see how he goes. And then I guess we'll start like taking things seriously and start like looking for somewhere to move to. And it might be sooner than we think. I've just had to like tie up a few loose ends as well before like we started doing that, like my tax return and just things like that. But yeah, it's all getting really real now. And like, oh my gosh, I've been wanting this for so long. And I just think, yeah, I've been quite creatively stuck being in this environment. I'm not saying that in a bad way at all. Love my family, love being here, but it is hard working around other people in the household, and not all of my family likes to be on camera. So that can make things quite hard as well. So say I want to film in the kitchen, someone else might be in there and they're like, no, don't film me. And yeah, it's just like a little bit restrictive sometimes. And also I feel like I've outgrown my room and I really need a space to work. So I just have a little bit like more work-life balance, so I can have an office and then have a bedroom that is separate to my office. Anyway, I feel like I've just gone on a massive tangent talking about all of that, but I guess that was like the main update and one of the main reasons that I wanted to do this Q&A is because that's a pretty huge thing in our life. And so a few things are still uncertain, like whether my family will move away or not. But we know now that Braden officially has this job. So, oh, I'm so happy, and it's so nice to have some stability and just to know what's happening next. And so I have a feeling this coming week is going to be very busy. We need to go shopping to get Braden a suit, and we just want to like have a good time and do some fun stuff before he starts his job. And so Braden and I actually had quite a few plans for January that we had planned quite a while ago, but they've kind of gone out of the window, as I'm sure a lot of other people's plans have, just because of COVID and things going on. We've had a few cases in Sydney, and other states in Australia have had cases, so they've closed the borders. And so yeah, there's not really much traveling that we can do right now. But Braden and I initially were actually going to be going on a road trip. We were going to leave like around now actually, and we were going to hire a van and live in a van for about a week. And we were going to drive up the coast and stop off at a bunch of places, go to Byron, and then we were going to head towards Noosa, spend some time there. And then after that, our plan was to fly to Hamilton Island in the Whitsundays and like just have a really relaxing time there, because Braden's never been to the Whitsundays and it's on my vision board to take him there. And so we wanted to do that and like meet up with some friends. And then we were actually going to fly to Queensland and stay in Surfers Paradise with Braden's family, which we do every single year at the end of Jan. And so we were going to do that, but then obviously COVID's got in the way, so we basically scrapped those plans. But I guess in some ways it's a blessing, because Braden has this job now and he's been asked to start next week. So there's no way we would have been able to do that trip anyway, because, you know, he's got the opportunity. So of course he's got to take it. But we did have all of those plans originally for January, which we were really excited about. And then we were hoping that maybe Braden would get a job in February. and it's all moved a bit faster than we initially thought, which is like a good thing because it means that we can move out quicker. But yeah, it's crazy how things can change so fast. But I also think that's another reason why I've been in a rut lately and been feeling a little bit unmotivated, is because I had like these things to look forward to and then they got cancelled, and then I kind of had planned my content around that, and then now I'm like, what content am I gonna put up instead? Usually I would vlog everything that's going on and like tell you guys a bit more real time, but I've just not really had the energy to vlog because really there's not been that much going on right now. Like my routine is just a little bit different to how it used to be, and I'm just having to kind of like find a new one. But I do have lots of video ideas, I just need to get around to doing them. But I think this year I'm going to be really focusing on vlogging. I kind of did that last year. I feel like each year my YouTube channel evolves and changes. Back in the day I did like makeup tutorials, and then I did challenges, and then now I just do like vlogs and share with you my life, and I've been really loving doing that. And so that is what I plan to do for 2021. I actually had like quite a lot of questions about like my goals for 2021 and things like that. And I actually did a whole podcast episode on that, and I reflected on 2020 and I talked about my goals for 2021, and then I also gave some tips on how you guys can set your goals. So if you want to check out that podcast episode, I'll link it down below. It's the Inspired Mind podcast. Make sure you go and listen because you definitely get content on the podcast that you wouldn't get in my YouTube videos. It's more like to do with self-improvement and things like that. And I am very passionate about self-development, and I actually really want to focus on that in 2021, and I really want to work on some projects in 2021 that have to do with self-development. I'm not 100% sure what those projects will be yet, but I know that self-development is something that I know a lot about and has really helped me. The thing is, there are just so many different things that you can do that I just don't know where to start. Sorry if the camera's moved at all, I just had to free up some storage space. But I think what I was saying is that I have all of these ideas for different projects, but I just like don't even know where to start, and I feel like I need help. So, you know, maybe throughout the year I will have to like start like paying some more people to help me out with things, because it is quite a lot to like do everything on my own at times and just kind of be in my own brain, you know? I honestly think I've caught you guys up with everything. We've talked about my gut health, my stomach issues, how I'm feeling post-surgery. We talked about my family potentially moving, Brayden getting a job, me and Brayden potentially moving and buying somewhere. And then what else? I think I've covered everything. Oh, and I've also talked about like my plans for YouTube, but I would love to know like what videos you guys would love to see from me this year. And I would love to know what the reason is that you like watching my YouTube channel, just so I can like keep that in mind when creating content. But I seriously appreciate you all so much. I am very, very lucky to have this community, and yeah, I'm just so happy that I can do like videos like this and update you and just feel like I'm chatting to my friends and just talking about everything that's going on. I hope the start of your 2021 has been going well. Let me know what your goals are. I seriously love chatting to you guys. I've had some really lovely DMs from you guys lately, and I've just had some really nice conversations, and it's so nice connecting with everyone. How weird's this as well? Since I posted that video about my appendix, I've had probably about like 6 different people message me being like, oh my God, Ella, since I watched your video, I've had to get my appendix out. I'm like, am I manifesting something in people? Because I really hope I'm not. But I'm like, wow, this is way more common than I realized. So it's been really nice talking to these girls and like relating to them with the recovery and stuff. But yeah, I honestly love you all so much. Thank you for sticking around and being patient with me. I know like my videos have been a bit sporadic lately, but if you enjoyed this one, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.